crazy bastards? Welcome back to the Kimball Compound for the Andre Corbiel Show. And we're talking about the craziest wrestlers. Yes, craziest, you crazy bastards. Now we're going to get into this. One of the things that I remember is I'm trying to go back as a kid. What the hell was the craziest thing that I saw consistently out of a wrestler? And that would be George the Animal Steel. The green tongue, eating a turnbuckle, looked like a goddamn Sasquatch, hairy as hell, bald, just a weird looking man chewing on the turnbuckle. I don't even remember if he won matches or anything, but as a kid, George the Animal Steel was the craziest dude in the ring. And that is from recollection, and I remember seeing pictures from my parents taken at local shows. They used to go to see WWF all the time, and George the Animal Steel was always a delight to see, and he was always having the green tongue, chewing and tearing apart a turnbuckle. Just crazy. That is fun. My second craziest wrestler of all time is Scott Steiner. Let me tell you what, as a kid, I go back to thinking about the Steiner brothers. Scott Steiner had, the mullet cut, and they had a really good tag team back then, and had a good physique as well. And then he just turned into this monster, and then he got a look with the blonde hair and the little black streak right there. And then Petey Williams was telling some stories about Scott Steiner behind the wheel. This guy was crazy. He had a crazy lifestyle. His promos were absolutely crazy. 33 1/3%, baby. And just, or 133 1/3%. Yeah, that is Scott Steiner. Yes, probably a great dude in real life. Point is, though, trying to be just very entertaining, and he had a crazy lifestyle. Loved the women, and Big Papa Pump comes in second as the craziest wrestler of all time over here at the Kimball Compound. And I think you guys can agree with Scott Steiner being up there. Yeah. Freaking arms. I don't want to have arms that big. Holy hell, that's just bananas, bonkers. So moving on to, actually, before my number one, I'm going to give an honorable mention tag team. Craziest tag team. I don't know if the other guys, Andre and Dave, are going to have a tag team in theirs. They were supposed to be top three, but mine is going to be the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom. These guys would beat the fuck out of people. They would hit tremendously hard. They were awesome, and they were just crazy. They had their thing, and I loved it. When I was a kid, when they come out and they had freaking Ozzy Osbourne playing in the background, coming to the ring, that I was like 4 years old, and watching that old stuff, I remember just nostalgia, baby. And I loved watching them and their promos and their in-ring, just how powerful they were. And they just seemed crazy as hell. They had the war paint, they had the crazy hairdos, the mohawks, the double mohawk, yes, and one of the best managers ever, Paul Ellering. So it was definitely awesome, and they were crazy. They were badass. On to the number one craziest wrestler of all time. It's so hard to pick. There's a lot of crazy ones out there. I mean, you've got the likes of Psycho Sid. It was almost there. New Jack, that nutty bastard, just start real fights and stab people. Psycho Sid with freaking, stabbing motherfuckers with scissors. Arn Anderson, wow. Anyway, my number one is Sandman from the ECW. That dude was not a good wrestler, but he would bust himself up to just go into the ring through the crowd with a match with beer cans, just smashing them over his head. And then the one story that really puts him in the #1 category of crazy bastards, crazy wrestlers, the dude died on the way to a show, and they revived him. The other ECW guys dropped him off to the hospital, ditched him, said there was a dead body on the side of the road. Yes, he was dead. They revived him, pumping him with an adrenaline shot to the heart, bringing him back to life, and he calls Tommy Dreamer and says, "I'll be at the show." Moments later, that crazy bastard is my #1 craziest wrestler of all time, and he did show up to that show after he died. That is crazy in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about Sandman. Not a great wrestler, but had the crowd in his hands, and he was a beer guzzling sumbitch, and I liked that. Just smashing beer cans over his head, bleeding. Yeah, fondling women on the way to the ring. The guy had it, and it was a good time. This was a fun show. Craziest wrestlers. There's so many others. I mean, the Ultimate Warrior with his crazy things that he used to talk about. You had Macho Man. He was pretty goddamn crazy, and just with his intensity, and Ultimate Warrior's intensity as well. Those two, the Ultimate Maniacs, they were crazy as well. And there's a lot of others. I heard Haku bit a dude's nose off at a bar because the guy was saying wrestling's fake. Awesome for you, Haku, for showing that son of a bitch, but bite his nose off? Vader's pretty goddamn crazy too. That dude put his own eyeball back in. Mick Foley, yeah, we saw that. His tooth in his nose, and yeah, ear was ripped off from the ropes. There's so many out there. And Bruiser Brody, there's Junkyard Dog was pretty crazy too. There's a lot of them. Ric Flair, just the lifestyle, man. That's pretty goddamn crazy, and he's still going. Woo! And it is awesome. So thank you for all the crazy wrestlers. Thank you for all the crazy bastards that are wrestling fans, because this is why we do what we do. We love wrestling because it's just crazy. You don't know, you just don't know what's going to happen. Most of the time some things are predictable, but who gives a shit? We're having fun, and that's what wrestling's all about. And I can't wait to see what we're going to do next week. And this crazy wrestling segment was great. It was awesome. So anyway guys, what's your craziest wrestler of all time? Leave it down below.